From the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is week 4 of the Big Three. Baseline, reverse, got it. Nicely done.
And that was a signature move right there. A little fadeaway jump shot in the post over a smaller opponent, not able to hit.
Bibby, top of the key. Good. And the foul.
Uh-oh. He got numbers, too. I gave him some numbers.
Stevenson for 3, trying to put up some numbers here. And Deshaun Stevenson. Looking inside, Mobley. Want to use that size, turn around, good. Cat, Mobley. Gill, guarded by Bibby. Up top, Stevenson. Point game for power. Stevenson wants to take it himself. Bang! Ball game. Power. And again, it's Deshaun Stevenson with a game winner. Half a play. 1-point lead. McCants steps back in the corner and hits it again.
Another guard the Ball Hawks did.
McCants. Woo! Really ball right there, folks. Look at those shoulders on Rashard McCants. Plays a lot of golf during the offseason. I heard he's pretty good. Byers to Childress.
Ball Hawks giving Trilogy a little taste of their medicine, spreading the court. Dribble drive Byers to Childress. Poster time.
Here's McCants. Pick and roll. Harrington cross court. McCants shows it for the win. Bam! 4-0. Trilogy. Basketball. We're ready for our next game of the night. Charles Oakley leads the Killers. Get it going. Inside, nice look. Brown from Abdul Rauf as he threaded the needle. He had a prior commitment before the season. Sweet Lou from the 4-point line gets it back, reloads from Curryland. Bam.
How about the smart?
Again, elevates, jump hook this time. No. Kwame Brown couldn't hold on, picked up by Lewis. He'll feed Brown. Great catch, and he gives it back for the easy layup.
Well, part of the problem, Eddie Robinson, his left.
Tough grab, 6 to shoot. Pulls up on Abdul Rauf and banks it down, 47 to 45. To Lewis, he has it. This one for the win. Baseline fade, pure ball game. Sweet Lou does it again as he finishes with 30. Jermaine O'Neal, top of the arc, Mike James.
Those legs, baby. Come on, Mike. Get up a little bit.
You had him on the golf course today.
I didn't have him. He wanted to play.
No,
they wasn't me.
James turns the corner, gets to the basket, and lays it in.
There he is. But they allowed the team to get back in, and they couldn't recover once they lost the lead.
Thornton fouled and won. Now Thornton. Nayland feeds O'Neal inside, drop step baseline side, right hand up and in. James. O'Neal with position, bats it out. Wells for the win, and it's over. Bonzi Wells gives Tri-State their first win of the year, 51 to 44 over Three's Company.
Tuesday here, episode 30 of The Focus. Happy to be here. Octavia, Cardell. Does it feel like 29 episodes has gone by that?
It does not. It feels like this is like episode 5.
It's really, I ask him every single week, And you would think I know how to count because I asked him last week, it was 29. Week before it was 28. I asked him today, it's 30. So, Cardell, thank you for answering me with my childish-like questions. I appreciate it. But we're joined by Sam Burroughs today. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thanks for having me.
We truly appreciate it. As you guys just saw in the second straight week, we started off with some Big 3 highlights. This past weekend, the stop was in Philly. Everybody was looking forward to it. You know, Dr. J, AI coming home. The homecoming was everything was meant to be. Unfortunately, due to health issues, Allen Iverson was not able to play this weekend. So some fans were kind of upset about that. You got to understand, they're older. They're older.
That's what I was thinking.
When you bought your ticket, they're still getting older between the day that you bought the ticket and the day that they're going to play. Secondly, apparently, going from Ice Cube with his tweets, I was sharing with Cardell before the show started that AI was supposed to be on bed rest. He apparently willed himself out of bed to come out and show face because he respected the great people in Philly that much. So while I understand that there's some type of disappointment there, it's the first year of the Big 3. I'm sure AI, with him being who he is going to make that right to all of you fine folks of Philly. But I mean, it's just another good week, and I saw Cube again on Twitter answering some questions from some fans, and it's good that he's on Twitter being active too, because we know Adam Silver said that he's been on Twitter. Sometimes he hides on Twitter. He's on Twitter, but nobody knows what his account is. So it's kind of cool to see Cube having that type of relationship, or even wanting to respond, because the Big 3 is a brand right now, and all the times the people in charge of brands don't always respond to little people on Twitter all the times. But from a basketball standpoint, it was another good week. Rashard Lewis is still Rashard Lewis. He's probably been the most impressive player to me thus far in the Big 3 in terms of he doesn't look any different to me than, like, he's not quite Seattle Rashard, but it's not a huge drop off. He doesn't look like some of the other guys that are trying to get their legs back underneath him. He still looks like Rashard. Cardell, your thoughts on this weekend's action in the Big 3?
I mean, I agree. Some guys, like I said, some guys after they leave the league, they stay active. It's not just him. Al Harrington, I think those are the two favorites for MVP. They kind of battle like Russell and James Harden did. So, like I said, from one game a week, when they really got to put it all out there, yeah, they could look like how they did in the league. It's just like I said, they played in the NBA's, season with 4 games and 5 nights. I don't know if their bodies can take it, man. It's the reason why they fell back. Otherwise they'd be playing still. So, but knowing how to play, their skill and everything, that's not gonna leave them. I mean, what you say about Rashard Lewis, with when Orlando went to the finals with Dwight and all that, he was a big piece of that. All-Star multiple years. He know what to do, man. He know how to play. So I'm not surprised at all. Steven Jackson, he was talking a lot of trash before the season even started, the Big 3 even started, and he's delivering. He had 24 points as well. So I'm not surprised at all.
Not at all. I'm looking forward to next week in the Big 3, and shout out to the Big 3 again. We enjoy having the ability to show you guys highlights from every week. Again, the games take action every Sunday, I believe, and then Monday nights they're on Fox Sports 1. And then, on Tuesdays, if you guys don't check it out, you can tune in right here to The Focus and catch up on some of the highlights here. And we're more than happy and very proud to share these with you guys. All right, we got a lot planned on tonight's show. We already introduced you guys to Sam. We're going to talk about what he does in his life. It's very exciting to talk about. We talk about there's so many different types of athletes, and I think sometimes people overlook that. Right. And then our rapid fire segment is going to be fire. Shout out to the NFL for continually giving us
a lot of things
content.
To talk about. Thank you so much.
Outstanding topics every week. You haven't let us down this entire all season. So kudos to you.
Especially the Cowboys.
Man, look, just
I can't wait. I'm excited.
They just keep giving gifts. They just don't stop. Shout out to the NBA offseason. Somebody else gets some type of money that makes everybody go, oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk a little bit, I'm sure, in Rapid Fire about how the NFL guys look at some of these mediocre NBA guys getting big-time checks. And these NFL guys got all-pro accolades looking up at dudes who averaged like 15 a game last year, maybe 12 for their career. They had a whole jump of 3.2 points in their career average 1 year. Got a $70 million guarantee. And yes, Tim Hardaway Jr. is not personal. It's just you that first come to mind right now. It's not a personal thing.
Jesus.
You've come to a lot of people's mind. It's
Don't get me started.
If the Knicks call you, Octavia's team calls you, offers you that check, I would have signed it too. I'm not mad at you
Yeah.
at all. If that's what the market dictates, that's what the market dictates. We're gonna talk about Kirk Cousins. That news yesterday as well. We got so much planned for you guys. We're gonna talk about the Mystics. They're back in town. Just so much. You're watching The Focus. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we get back, we're gonna talk to Sam about what it is that he does, how he does it, why he does it, and we look forward to that conversation. If you're tuned in right now, grab a buddy, grab a friend. They can tune in too. Y'all don't have to watch together. You know, just you can sit next to each other. Watch separately. You got multiple devices and whatnot. But you're watching The Focus, and we'll be right back.
And as Wilson said earlier, we're back, and we have a guest, bodybuilding trainer, Sam Burroughs. What's going on, man?
I can't complain.
All right, definitely happy to have you on the show. One question I always wanted to ask you, I know I see you grinding in the gym, so you know we both be working. So, but what inspired you to become a bodybuilder in the first place?
Well, I started bodybuilding back in 2013. In 2013, I did my first show with OCB, competitive bodybuilders, and I always thought I was gonna be pretty good at it. And then what happened was, my first show I came in third out of 3 people, so I was last, and that kind of motivated me, kind of keep going. And when anybody would tell you who bodybuilds, it's more of a marathon than a sprint. So you really got to kind of keep pushing and keep going. And then when the judges told me my legs were 2 years behind my upper body, and I was like, 2 years? I'm like, my upper body's not even that tight. So I knew that I had a lot of work to do, and that kind of motivated me because other things that I did in sports kind of didn't necessarily come easy, but it was a lot easier than bodybuilding. So that's pretty much how I got into it.
What's the preparation for a competition like? Without giving up too many secrets, but you know, break down what a regimen is to get ready for a competition.
Oh wow! I think it starts first with your mentality. You got to really get yourself motivated and get yourself ready and geared up to eating fish and chicken and, you know, keeping your sodium down and vegetables, stuff that you normally don't eat when you're just chilling. But I think that's the first thing that you need to get done. People don't understand that, you know, you getting yourself conditioned for a show is the same way as any other athlete, a basketball player, a football player. And on top of that, you got other things to worry about. You got your job, your family, you know, if you got kids, you know, husband, wife, and then the daily struggle of everyday life. And then you have to go and get in the gym, do your cardio. You got to eat right. Sometimes, I mean, I work at a gym right now, so it's easy for me to get there 2 or 3 times out the day, but everyone else doesn't have that. So, I mean, it's pretty time consuming once you get yourself ready for a show, and it usually typically takes about 16, 12 weeks to get yourself in good condition for a show. So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
I know you just touched on chicken and fish, but what about the nutrition involved overall? Yeah.
It's terrible. I'm a big sugar guy. I love sugar. And in my first couple of years of competing, it's funny because on Facebook, my mother was like, yo, he looks like this, but, you know, you don't know that he's been eating cookies every night. I was like, Mom, telling people. But it was hard. I mean, your body doesn't want to get down that low as far as body fat's concerned. It's happy to have fat on it. It's happy to have, you know, that extra water, that pudge, you know. So when you force it to do that, it starts giving you cravings. You might get sick. You might get headaches. And then for me, it was cravings with sugar. And I'll break down sometimes in the beginning. Now I don't really do that anymore because I'm kind of stronger than now. But kind of. But sugar and ice cream and cookies was my thing. But yeah, but you really want to eat, as far as nutrition is concerned, every 3 hours. To kind of keep your metabolism going. You kind of, like I tell my clients, you treat your body like it's a fireplace. Every time you put log in it, the fire keeps going. The fire is your metabolism. I mean, if you don't put the logs in the fire will go down. So you have to keep feeding. If you're up, sometimes people say, you know, I got to cut my food off at 7 p.m. No, if you're up, keep eating.
Wow.
Keep eating. So I usually keep a meat and vegetable diet, keep my carbs low, and to keep my fat high. Eat fat to lose fat. And that's pretty much...
That's the total opposite of what people preach.
What people think,
like
yeah.
starve yourself.
Right. Good fats, though. You know, the avocados, olive oil, seeds. of course not the fat bean stuff that I like, honey buns.
I was like, so.
Right, yeah.
Let me get 6 honey buns,
Exactly.
please.
6, that sounds like a great deal.
All right. What's your mindset heading into competition when you know the days come? What's your mindset?
The days come, the last couple of weeks, I'm pretty serious. And it's funny because I was just talking to one of my other bodybuilding buddies, and I was like, the last couple of weeks I'm in the gym. I don't like working out at my gym because people, they want to talk to you, I don't mind it during the off season because, I work there and I'm a personal trainer. But you're really trying to get your mind right, get focused. You're already hungry and angry, and then people want to, talk to you in the middle of a set, and I'm just like, what do you want? And I try to be, conscious, like, okay, I work here, let me relax a little bit, but sometimes you can't help it. So I'm really focused. Because right now I'm pretty serious about it. I'm trying to turn pro in the IFBB organization. It's a really big organization. It's pretty popular. It's not like the ones I used to do in the past. So I get pretty serious and I get focused, and I got to kind of keep it, in its right path, because like I said, I got to go home to kids, 2-year-old and 1-year-old, so I can't be hangry around them. They don't understand that. So, it could be pretty tough, but, I stay focused and I keep it in check.
Okay. How competitive is bodybuilding? Because basketball is just when you step on the court, it's like we here to rip your head off.
Absolutely.
Is it the same in bodybuilding?
It pretty much is. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people think that bodybuilding is kind of like it's a beauty pageant. They look at people just flexing, and, they don't understand the work they had to put in to get to that stage. So you're doing all this prepping 16 weeks into about to get on the show, to do a show, and you're up there for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, all that work. So when you do a show, typically when you get back there, the competitors are quiet. They're not talking to anybody. They're not exchanging Instagram or Facebook pages. Like, what's your number, where you work out? They put their head down, and they're like mugging people, kind of. My first couple of times getting on there, I was trying to talk to everybody. I was like, the work is already done. I'm pretty much like that now. I'm like, what I did is done. I can't make extra muscles pop out on stage that are not there. So it doesn't really matter to me. So so it can get pretty competitive, and it can get pretty. You don't see people fighting or anything. This is not like in a basketball court, in the NBA of the '90s. But it's pretty competitive because everyone works hard that you get on this stage. And everybody's trying to get a pro card.
In 2015, you placed first in the Baltimore Classic. How did it feel knowing, like you talked about, all the work, the dedication, the sacrifice that you put in? What was that feeling once you won?
Once it clicked for me, it felt great. When they called my number, they told me I won overall, and I got my IPA pro card, I was like, for real, me? Because that dude that was next to me was serious. So it felt great. All the hard work that you did and you put in for, like I said, 16 weeks. Now, 2015 was probably my longest prep. I did a complete 16-week diet and training. And, I just hoped for the best. I just made sure I did my posing every day, and I made sure that I didn't really cheat on my diet. Well, even though I did, nothing too crazy, just the cookies. But, it felt great. I can't, just like anything else that I've won in other sports, it felt just as good to win that one.
Okay, switching over to the training side, I know a lot of trainers talk about what they look for. They kind of more on the positive side with the clients. But with clients with you, what are your pet peeves with dealing with clients?
I got a lot of pet peeves.
I felt like he was going to say it.
I got a lot. So I would say my biggest pet peeve is a client who, they work out with me. Say if they only work on me once or twice a week, and they don't see any improvements. And they come to me and they're like, I'm not seeing any improvements. What's going on? We need to switch something up with these workouts. And I'm like, okay, what are you eating at home? Yeah. I'm not with you at home, so you got to stop eating butter sandwiches,
Not
put
butter
it down. And just put the work in. Like, I think it's insulting to me that, you want to lose weight, you want to do all this, and you kind of want to blame me for the workouts, and you're not doing your end. And I already know if you're not doing your end or not, So if you come to me and it's been weeks we're working out and I don't see no change, you're eating whatever you want at home. That's just pretty much what they're doing.
And only working out twice, maybe?
Right, only twice a week. I'm like, you only see me twice a week, so you really got to put the work in yourself. And if you're not doing that, and it's pretty much 70-75% diet, what you eat is what you're going to look like. Pretty much. The workouts just kind of just help tone it and keep you in that right direction, but That food is very important. And that's my biggest pet peeve, is people who just don't do the work on their own and try to get mad at me when they're not doing anything at home. It's just terrible. And I get it, but it's mind over matter. You got to really want it.
Right.
If you don't really want it, then you're not going to lose the weight.
Okay. Speaking of losing weight, we're in the summer. You know, everybody want to have the body, beach body, you know, so to speak. What advice would you give to, you know, individuals looking to look their best, you know, walk around the beach and, you know, not feeling embarrassed, feel good about themselves?
Diet. It goes back to what you're eating. You know, a lot of times getting ready for the summer, a lot of people like to drink, you know, that vodka, or the worst thing ever is for you is any type of dark liquor. It goes straight to the stomach. You know, it's just, everyone likes Hennessy around here. I'm like, all right, you like Hennessy, but you don't like the rolls too when you sit down. You know, so that's big. I mean, everyone's got abs underneath that layer there. I don't care if you do no sit-ups, but you can have a flat stomach if you just watch what you eat. You don't have to be too strict on what you eat like a bodybuilder. But if you're like, hey, if I just cut out sugar for this whole weekend and maybe have it on the weekend, it's fine, because one day can't mess up what you've been working on for weeks on end, or for the whole week. So I say diet's the biggest thing.
Okay. I'm going to throw some words out there as far as, you know, achieving fitness goals. You know, I want you to break it down. Lack of sleep.
Sleep is very important. It's almost as important as, you know, any type of training regimen. If you don't get enough sleep, your body's not going to get the adequate amount of rest, and it needs to build whatever you're doing, whether you're trying to lose weight or build muscle. If it's not resting and it's not repairing itself again throughout the night, then you're not going to see the gains that you want or lose the weight that you want if you don't get enough rest.
Okay. You just touched on about alcohol consumption.
Yeah, alcohol. I mean, well, alcohol just has a ton of sugar in it, and people will add sugar with mixed drinks, putting juices and stuff in there, and you can all of a sudden have a drink that could be like 600 calories, empty calories that go nowhere but to places you don't want it to go. You know, so yeah, alcohol could be one of those things that kind of just sneak up on you. Your beer is terrible for the stomach. I tell people that all the time. And people easily could drink 5-6 beers in a night, nightly. You know, you come home from work and they're like, well, give me a beer, you know, because I had a long day. Think about that. Go get some water or something, and you know, drink some NyQuil so you go to sleep or something. But yeah, alcohol could be one of those things that people just kind of like disregard, and kind of you have to watch out for that.
Fast food.
Fast food's terrible. Fast food. I mean, it's easy to get fast food around here, especially in America. All the stuff that's pretty much illegal in other countries, we got it here. And you know, fast food. The fast food here is the worst out of everywhere in the world. You know, it's just ridiculous. And it's easy to get fat. It's easy to eat terrible around here. There's McDonald's in every corner. You know,
Not bacon on everything.
Bacon on everything. Not enough Chick-fil-A's if you ask me, but but yeah, it's just fast food. Just that goes without saying. That's just terrible for you.
And lastly, your kryptonite, so to speak, sweets.
Oh yeah, my kryptonite is sweets for sure. I mean, honey buns, cookies, cakes, cupcakes. Oh God, it's funny because after my last competition I did about 2 weeks ago, and I probably ate right after the show 6 or 7 honey buns. What? Right after.
God.
You said 6 or 7?
Yeah, 6 or 7. It was pretty bad. I was 170 getting on stage, and in 4 days I was 197. It's from all the salt and the crap that I was
4 days?
4 days. I mean, most of it's water.
Yeah.
My face was all puffy when I was waking up. I was going to work. They're like, what are you doing? My clients are like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. But yeah, you kind of have to watch out for that because I've been depleting myself for so long with the sodium and the carbs and the sugar, and then all of a sudden it just rushed back into my body. It was like, thank you. And I was like, no. But yeah, sweets are definitely my kryptonite.
What's your mission when you have a client and you train them?
My mission is to help them reach their goals. That's just the biggest thing. And that's the most satisfying thing for me. Like, if I can't help you reach your goals, that's a problem. You know, and I may be a little stern with some of my clients, and I might say some things they're not going to like, but, you know, my whole goal is to make sure if you want to lose weight, I'm going to make sure you lose weight. If you want to gain muscle, I'm going to make sure you gain muscle. And then, you know, that's just it.
And lastly, how can people reach you if they want a session? You know, they're looking to get in shape. You know, like you say, gain muscles, get ready for the season, and whatnot. How can they reach you?
A lot of people now, they actually reach me through my Instagram or my Facebook. My Facebook is Samuel Burroughs. My Instagram is also Sam Burroughs if you want to look me up, or SA Burroughs 87. My email is samburrows87@gmail.com. So typically that's how they reach me, or they see me in Giant in the sweet section. That's pretty good.
You done?
I'm done,
Man, there's hardly any questions left, but I got like 4 or 5.
Hardly any questions left.
I mean, I had a lot of time to think. I had a lot of time to think. It was a great conversation. All right. First of all, just you say, I vaguely remember you saying out there you started bodybuilding when you were like 13.
Mm-hmm. 2013, I'm sorry.
2013,
Yeah,
okay. All right, so 2013. Why and how did you end up stumbling down that road from the different sports you played growing up? Like, at what point did you decide? Because everything you just talked about, the drastic changes.
Right.
And what in 2013 was like, I want to do that to myself?
First of all, I didn't think it was going to be that hard.
Okay.
I was like, okay, just flex. I was already in decent shape. I worked out a little bit, did my little push-ups here and there, my little pull-ups. And I needed a way to kind of stay competitive and stay in shape. I needed something to kind of be like, all right. Because I worked at a gym already, but I didn't want to work out. I played basketball. Carter, I can tell you, I was just in the gym all the time, just shooting hoops. And I sucked. And I ended up getting better. But I needed something to kind of keep me competitive. And somebody came to me and was like, you have a great frame for bodybuilding. And I was like, man, I ain't getting up on stage with my drawers. My mom might see me. My mom might see me in drawers. I don't know how long. That's not going to work for me. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, if I just set a date to do a show and kind of work towards that, I know I could get myself, in pretty good shape, and I can stay in the gym, because that's what I do. Pretty much my business is my body. If I'm not in shape, nobody wants to train with me.
Right.
So that's pretty much how I got into it, and then I stuck with it once I sucked. I saw how bad I did, so that's pretty much how I got into it.
All right. You also mentioned out there that you're getting into doing national shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said one a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
One national show a year. How much different does the playing field change for nationals versus the level you were currently competing at?
To be honest with you, since I've been doing shows since 2013, I had a chance to kind of learn my body and everything, and learn what works for me, what doesn't work for me. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just a bigger show. You can have people that look really, potentially in a national show, the only people that are there, only competitors that are there, are guys that either came top 5 in their class or won overall. So there's pretty good competition. But like I said, you really can't worry about who's coming to the shows. You just worry about yourself, as long as you're progressing, each time you step on stage. So it's the only difference is what you do, really, because like I said, you can't help who comes. So I've been doing it for a while, so I can't really say that when I do a show I'm that nervous, because I know when I'm going to come and what I'm going to bring to the table. And like Michael Jordan said, one of my favorite athletes of all time, he says, work ethic eliminates fear. And that's, if you know what you're capable of doing, there's nothing to fear. It's just routine. So.
All right, one of my guys, I think him and his wife just recently started getting into bodybuilding. And one of the things he was talking about when he shared some videos was going through posing, how some people don't think it's that big a deal. But what was that like, first getting into posing and getting to a place where you're comfortable, not only comfortable doing it, but that you're confident in each and every movement?
Oh, wow, yeah. That's the biggest thing ever. The weights, the eating. If you want to get on stage, you better know how to pose. Because if you don't, you're going to look ridiculous on stage. I don't care how good you look straight up and down. If you don't know how to display your muscle, you're just going to look bad. Lifting weights is cool, and you build muscle, but if the muscle that you build and then you get on stage and you don't know how to present it, you look awkward, but posing is very hard. In the beginning for me it was. I had to learn how to spread my lats. I learned to flex every bit of muscle in my body while, they tell you to hold it. And it's very, I can't even stress how important. Any bodybuilder, any person who wants to do competitive bodybuilding, I tell them, you better learn how to pose first, because if you don't, you're going to look terrible.
All right. Octavia, you had any
I had a question. I always think about, because with bodybuilding or getting in shape at all, like you said, diet is probably the most important part. just speaking for myself, I know a lot of people who are very, very picky eaters. So, like, for people that are, like, really, really picky, like, do you have any, like, tips, like, could work better for them? Or, like, what's a good regimen or things that they can kind of, you know, try to eat better?
To me, eating healthy is not good anyway. I mean, I can't stand it personally. I mean, I don't even eat vegetables in my off season much, but any tips, I would say, I always tell people to just kind of do it slow. You know, I mean, don't necessarily go in full force and be like, okay, all I'm eating is grass and dirt every day. You know, I'm like, why would you do that? It's unrealistic, and you're going to fail within a couple of days. So I always tell people, cut this out first, cut sugar out, cut carbs down. You know, you don't have to completely cut out carbs, but you know, eventually it starts getting easier and easier. And you know, like, okay, if I cut this out, I'm gonna have it on Saturday. I'm a big fan of cheat meals because it keeps the body guessing. So not cutting out everything out at one time helps. You know, it helps with your psyche and you know, it's just a bad thing to cut everything out. And people just don't like, especially when people who are like going full force into it. They were like, well, I'm not gonna have a cheat meal. I'm not gonna do this. I'm like, why not? Because your body's only gonna go so far. You know, just eating clean. You know, crazy enough. I mean, your body's very smart, and it's like, okay, she's eating clean, he's eating clean. I'm gonna stop right here. This is all the fat that I want to lose. What are you gonna do now? You gotta switch it up. You gotta throw a little refeed meals in there, like a burger here and there, to kind of make it think that, okay, we're getting fat again, and then switch it back up. So.
All right. Well, Sam, we want to thank you. You're not going anywhere yet. We still got a lot of shows left. Every guest has to stay for rapid fire. Otherwise, you don't have the focus experience. You're watching The Focus. Keep it right here. We'll be right back. Talk a little. We got some local coverage stuff to go through, and then we're jumping right on into rapid fire, whatever Cardell has planned for us.
All right, welcome back. As Wilson said, we're going to touch on local coverage real quick. Bear with us. Obviously, this week, tomorrow, is the prestigious Under Armour All-American Camp at Philadelphia University. It's holding, you know, the top players on the Under Armour circuit, the AAU circuit, boys basketball circuit. We have a lot of local players who shined this year, and I don't know if people really took notice, but this has probably been one of the deepest AAU seasons probably in the history of this area. On all the circuits, different age groups, so many championships coming home. Like the coaches, I just want to give them props for on the AAU circuit. They're doing a great job because it's being felt nationally. It's a lot of championships, not just on the boys' side, the girls' side too. So with that being said, on the Under Armour circuit, the All-American Camp, we had Prentice Hub, spoke about him previously a lot. You know, Gonzaga, he plays for DC Premier. We have Jared Bynum out of Georgetown Prep. Point guard plays for the DC Blue Devils. Jermaine Harris, who just recently got an offer from Kansas, a big guy, big man, about 6'7", 6'8", out of Rock Creek Christian. He plays for DC Premier. Sadiq Bey out of Sidwell Friends, another DC Premier forward. LJ Owens, smooth shoe. We had him early, you know, on the show. I think our second episode. Plays for the DC Blue Devils out of 7th School. Marvin Price is a rising sophomore, one of the best players in the area. If y'all haven't seen him, definitely do. So I think he averaged about 26 and 9 last year. He led Patterson to the state championship. Now he plays for the Blue Devils. And the Mitchell twins out of Bishop McNamara, two of the best big prospects we have, Micah and Michael Mitchell. And Sniper Gibson Jimerson, DC Blue Devils out of Benedictine College Prep in Virginia. Those are the guys from the local league that will be participating in the camp. As for the Piss League, last night we had a lot of action, a lot of fireworks. You know how it goes with playoffs. But in the first game, J.N. Osmond, the third CB 60, ATB 65-50. Maurice Creek, you know, former GW standout, 25 points. It was real easy. Curtis Simmons finished with 16 points to lead ATB. And then the second game, 5th seed Core beat 4th seed Get Right 64-51. Zed Hurst had 21 points, and Quentin Morrow led Get Right with 12 points.
All right, then I know tonight's game it's a 1-8 matchup between Team Highland and Don't Matter.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. And then, you know, if you can't come out tonight, head out tomorrow. Playoffs are gonna keep going. It feels like Mo Creek only shows up during postseason time. Every
Sounds
year for
about
the Pits.
right.
See, you know what I'm saying? See him around. Then J&R's Bob is always in that thing. Some point in time, feels like the roster doesn't ever start until the postseason. So, it's the Piss League, man.
Yeah.
On to the Mystics. We're gonna be busy tomorrow morning. You and I both.
Yeah.
I got an Otto Porter press conference, Otto Porter camp, Washington Mystics game, their last game before All-Star break.
Right.
Is tomorrow, so we're gonna be there, giving you guys, providing you guys with coverage of all that on the Focus accounts and both at finestmag.com and Mama Sports. With the Mystics, Elena Delle Donne went down. Bigger news was Taylor Hill. They lost her for the entire season. You can head to finestmag.com. You can head to MyMonoSports.com. We got an article there just talking about how those injuries are going to affect the season. They are a deep team, but one of the things that's been kind of overstated since Delle Donne has been here is sometimes the supporting cast. And Taylor going down is a huge blow. She was a very big piece last year. She was picked right after Elena in that same draft. Most of the Washington Mystics roster this year is from that draft class. They have, I think 3 of the top 10 picks in that class. So we're going to see how that goes. They got an All-Star break coming up. Give them some time to kind of, decompress and get right for the second half of the season. They got a lot of work to do, especially on the road. As Ivory said, for them to get a chance to become the type of team that they could be, it starts with winning road games. They have no issues building double-digit leads. It's about sustaining them. And, we talk about this all the time, that learning to win is a process, no matter who you are. How great the collection of talent is, just because you put them together doesn't always mean, just it's instant.
Right.
So, without further ado, sir, the floor is yours again. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. All right, first question. Bleacher Report did a ranking for the most clutch quarterbacks of all time. They had number 1 Brady, 2 Elway, 3 Joe Montana. Do you agree with that ranking?
Sam, you're the guest. You get to go first.
What was the number 1?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. I have to agree with that. Honestly, number 1.
I mean, yeah, I agree too. It's at least with that part. It's always so difficult when you talk about quarterbacks, since you're going from different eras and everything like that. But you can't deny what Tom Brady has done. I did have a question. Where is Aaron Rodgers on this list?
I didn't get that far. We just stay with the top 3.
Okay, just wondering. Just wondering where he's at. That's all.
I'm fine with the list. I have no issue. I think it's fine. It's fine with the list, because after time you can put whoever you want, or whatever order you want. So.
Whether you like him or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with this, but John Elway has 40 comebacks behind victories, in his career. But we're going to keep it moving. Second question. DeMar Carroll said the Raptors lacked trust and had a divided locker room, and that was the cause of their demise last season.
I don't think that was the cause of the demise. I'm pretty sure we all know what the cause of the demise was. It probably was a factor in it, and I can see that because it's hard for them. If it's a divided locker room, of course we don't know, who's on what side and what side is even, what the sides are they even are. But I mean, it's plausible to think that, you got 2 strong players as far as, their personalities with Lowry and DeRozan. So if they're not getting along, not saying that they weren't, I can see how it could be divided, but I don't think it was the sole demise of, them.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Might have been a factor, but
a small factor.
That wasn't the reason, guys.
Man, I gotta go with the great Denny Green, man. They are who we thought they were. I don't want to hear none of that stuff right there. You've been in the same place, not going anywhere for like 3 or 4 years, and all we've heard is the Raptors are coming. The Raptors are coming. I'm over it. I don't want to hear about excuses about the demise, anything else, your trust issues, whatever. I don't want to hear it. Technically the number 2 team in the East, the team that came out the East last year, had the 21st ranked defense. I don't want to hear about trust issues. They weren't even playing that side of the ball.
That's a part of trust issues.
No, it is.
Because, not saying you're wrong, but that's a part of trust issues. You got to be able to communicate on defense. That's how you strap teams, man. It's not like all athleticism. You got to talk. I got beat. They got pick, rotate.
Yep.
And a lot of teams don't do that. But, honestly, they just ran into that buzzsaw. They ran into LeBron.
Yeah.
And I would lean more towards that, who's more competitive. But the way they destroyed them, and then, certain players saying, man, we had LeBron too. We beat him. I don't want, come on, man. That's when I'm just like, all right, go about your business.
I was like, yeah.
Go on about your business. So, yeah, okay. But third question, 2 words. Sammy Sosa.
Next. I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, Octavia officially used her first fifth. 30 episodes and she used her first fifth.
I can't. I just saw all I saw was the picture and I was like, I can't.
They said he looked like Pepto Bismol, man. Like, it's like,
and like,
where's the picture?
oh
God.
I
man.
haven't seen. You know, I watch Bubble Guppies.
oh my
The
God.
meme with the
You know
knee.
Chappelle, so when he's like a white anchor or something, that's how Sammy looks now.
It's really bad to the point that I am going to pull it
Yeah,
up
it's
so
just
you can see it.
Gotta
it's just
love
a sad thing. Period.
You gotta
Like
love
you said, you
yourself,
gotta love
man.
yourself.
I mean,
You
it's,
gotta love yourself.
Yeah.
he looks pale. He looks like
The
this
meme with the
flies,
Neapolitan
man.
box of ice cream.
Oh,
that was
see,
done.
I don't know about all of that.
So I was done off that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't.
Pray, I
Sammy
mean,
Sosa.
gotta pray for him, man.
I don't-
So you
I
can't.
have
do
no
it.
words.
That's all you can do at this point.
All
Like,
right,
what did you do?
I don't know.
moving on.
Bleach the skin.
It didn't stop.
Roger Federer won his 8th Wimbledon title Sunday, 19th slam overall, without losing a set, by the way.
Yes.
Is he the greatest men's tennis player of all time? I said men's, because we can make an argument with other
It's arguable after that.
men's. Okay.
Yeah, I just
But
think
he's
it's
the greatest
arguable.
men's.
No, but it's arguable now. After that, especially without losing a set.
With who? Sampras?
I feel like he was better than him.
Federer's better
Yeah.
than Sampras, so who better than him? Than the men's side.
I mean, I guess technically, like, I'm a board guy.
Boom.
Like I said, it's arguable. I guess I'm just at the place where I'm not quite ready just to give it to him yet. Like, I'm almost there. Like, maybe one more and I'm there. Like, one more and I'm at the place where I'm with Tom. Just like, we just gotta leave it alone. This is done. You got it.
I'm kind of there now. Like it's kind of like it's getting to the point where it's like, why even continue to play? Because you're just killing everybody. But I mean, like you said, it's definitely, it's going to be up for debate. But at this point, the way he's playing it and so consistent, and like you said, not even dropping sets. So it's like he's not even taking a set off or a break. Like he's going hard the whole time, getting you up out the way and going on to the next game or to the next match. I'm sorry. So yeah, I can buy that.
Just reading off those accolades right there. I mean, I don't know much about men's tennis or tennis in general, but it sounds like it.
I got you. Paul George said the Pacers had a trade proposal for him for Klay Thompson. That was on the table. Obviously, the Warriors said no. Would you have made that trade if you were the GM?
If I was
It was which GM?
Warriors GM.
Warriors, no, that's crazy.
I was about to curse.
Right, me
But
too.
it's a lot of people.
No.
Saying Paul George that difference
Hey,
maker
look,
though.
look,
You know,
look, with all due respect to Paul George.
Yes.
Look, with all due respect, I'm going to say it just so it could be said. Y'all got to stop putting people in these places they haven't yet earned. We
Please.
just got to stop it. Let them earn it, and I'm there with you. But right now, again, no disrespect to Paul George, Klay Thompson is a two-time champion. Klay Thompson is arguably one of the greatest shooters ever.
Right.
Klay Thompson is arguably a better defender than Paul George.
Right.
We gotta chill. Klay Thompson's hit huge shots,
Yeah.
not just in commercials, but when you need them.
You in this commercial.
Nah, I'm not gonna come off the commercial thing, but I mean, we've seen Klay do
Ball
crazy
game.
things. Ball game. We've seen
and
Klay.
say arguably out of it, he is one of the greatest shooters of all time.
And I'm not even being funny, and I just feel like it's disrespectful to come at Klay with that stuff. And I know Paul George is great, or Paul George is good. Let him earn great, and we could talk about it. But I feel like we taking Paul George, and I think it's because of some of the motion that Kev's not in OKC. Like, y'all really feel like you could plug anybody that kind of sort of looks or plays sort of like him, and it's going to be the same thing? It's not. Ain't going to be nothing
I'm not
close
even
to
talking
Russell.
about OKC.
No, I'm not.
I'm talking about these fans.
No, I
right
know.
here.
I know you're not
The
talking.
Wizards, like,
Nah, like we had this conversation before. I think he's a really good second guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if he was that guy, the Pacers would. I don't think the Pacers let him rock for Vick and Sabonis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even with the broken NBA, if he was that tier guy, that trade doesn't happen.
I mean, it does because he wanted out.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true too.
He said
But
he wanted out, so
I
they're
just-
not gonna lose him for nothing. But
I'm not there with him. I think he's a really good player, But I think he's looking up at Klay Thompson, and people got to chill with the disrespect.
I think it's partially that, you know, before he got injured, he was kind of on the up and up, and I think he still has that chip on his shoulder where he still feels like, you know, I'm still that player, but he hasn't been able to actually translate that onto the court yet for everybody to see, you know, and coming back from an injury like that is definitely rough, and he has come back well enough from it, but he's not, you know, where he was when he was on the up and up. So I just think it's crazy, ludicrous, preposterous, all those crazy words. Like let's be honest. Like, no, Klay Thompson probably laughed when he heard it. He was like,
Warriors did.
okay.
Klay straps up.
And that's
Klay
why.
straps up. I think that's kind of underrated right there too. They always look at his shooting, but he straps.
We just had a
every
finals
night.
where he was trusted with chasing Kyrie and didn't receive help.
Right.
They were like, just go die on that island by yourself.
Exactly.
And they were comfortable with it.
Very.
And again, no disrespect to Paul George, but
Exactly, no disrespect.
you are who you are. But again, the stuff that Klay's done in big moments in the playoffs already, like if Paul had this resume, we're laughing at this discussion right now. But Klay has it, and it's just the disrespect on Klay's name. I don't get it.
I mean, my thing is, too many people get caught up in the hype, and like I always say, it's only like a handful of players where if they move, the whole league feels it.
Yeah.
When KD moved and joined the Warriors, the whole league,
That's a
if
seismic
LeBron
shift.
moved, you know, if Anthony Davis
Yeah.
moved, there's certain players where the whole league feels and they gonna make moves to keep up with it. Paul George made a trade, ain't nobody moved. They just say, okay, we gonna move, and that's no disrespect to him. I'm just being real. They just say, okay, we gonna go after the next Rudy Gay or Gordon Hayward. We gonna keep it moving. So that tells you you're not there yet. So, you know, people just need to chill. Cowboys fans, Ezekiel Elliott, what's up with y'all, man? Was involved in a bar incident Sunday night. He's also still being investigated for a 2016 domestic violence accusation. How much should the Cowboys worry?
I would say they should. I mean, I feel like they're not gonna like overdo it with the worry, but I feel like there's some type of concern there, just at least a little bit. I read an article where it literally broke down like a bunch of infractions that he had outside of just the domestic incident, outside of just the bar incident that he just had. Like, there's other instances that haven't been highlighted as much than these two. So it's not like it's just these two. There are other things that's happened with him as well. So I just mean, like, they need to find, you know, and I always say, like, somebody needs a role model, somebody need a buddy, like, hey, don't do this, you know, because, like, he has such a high potential, like, to do great things in the league, because you can just tell that from last year, but it's like all these extracurricular things where you shouldn't be putting yourself in these situations, you're going to turn around and end up like Johnny Manziel. You know, you don't want that type of situation. So, I mean, I hope they get a handle on it. I hope they take it more seriously than I think they will, because I feel like if they do, it'll really it turn it around, hopefully. But there should be a little bit of cause of concern there, in my opinion.
Same.
I don't think it should be too much of a concern, honestly. It should be more concerned with that body issue he put out.
Oh, man.
I was like, why did he put this on TV? I don't want to see this, man. But, yeah, I think that, you know, like you said, athletes need to just learn how to. You're put in a position where, you know, you need to just stop. Yeah. You know, just do what you're supposed to do. You're a professional football player. You're a professional athlete. Just relax.
Find an entourage. Like,
Right.
let them do that.
Let them do that. Who's on your team? Like, seriously, when you leave the stadium. But, yeah.
I don't have nothing.
I mean, I hope it continues to be like this. You know, NFC East, I would love for you guys to just go down in flames. So
I would
I'm
love
fine
to
with
say I
it.
expected to stop, but Jerry like runs half the league, so
Yeah.
I don't see more than 4 games happening, and I think maybe it'll be 2 games. It's just hard for me to believe that Jerry's gonna let something bad happen to baby Zeke.
But I mean, they're already looking into 1 or 2 for the domestic incident. So are they going? You think they'll add more for this?
Man, it's the NFL.
You're right about that.
I'm saying, like, so far the only thing I've learned is you can do anything you want except get on the knee. So, hey, outside of that, you good.
Speaking of knee,
I knew this was next.
Michael Vick said that Colin Kaepernick not being signed right now has nothing to do with his stance, but his overall on-field performance. Quote, it has nothing to do with him being blackballed. The gesture that he made last year when he took the stand to do what he did, listen, we all appreciated it, we respected it, and it was a good thing. I really think the stand that he took has nothing to do with him not having a job playing in the NFL right now. Vick followed that with suggesting Kaepernick should cut his hair to rebuild his image. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna let everybody else speak before I talk, because this will be the last question to show. So everybody.
Ladies first, y'all decide.
I'll go. I need Michael Vick to have several. So please have several. Just enjoy retirement. You know, just stop, because everybody who has eyes can tell that the reason he's not on the team is because of the position that he's taken this past season. Like, don't get me wrong, like we've talked about before, his stats from last year weren't amazing, but they were very up to par where he should have a job right now. There's no way that he should not have a starting position on some of these teams out here. No, you can't tell me that. I don't care how long he's played in the NFL or whatever. There's no way. And the audacity of him to tell him that he needs to cut his hair is just like a slap in the face. Like, if it has nothing to do with whatever stance he took on the field, why does it have to do with him cutting his hair? Why does he have to have a clean cut, shaved look when there are a gajillion people in the NFL who have hair, tattoos, piercings, crazy mohawks, everything that you can think of that should have nothing to do with it? And for him to be another black man to say that about him, to me, it's just another slap in the face. Like, you should be the person that's uplifting him. You should be the person that's got his back. You're supposed to be the one to say, it don't matter what you look like or your political views or whatever. It should only be about what you're doing on the field if we're talking about that. So I just need him to have several seats, go at home, sit down with his wife, play with some dogs, do something. Like, I need him to go away. And it hurts for me because I love Michael Vick. You know, I've always been a fan of Michael Vick, even with the whole dog situation and everything. But this one just was like, I could have done without.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, definitely. You know, he's a distraction to the teams. So, I mean, you know, I think it's crazy that Michael Vick thinks that that's not the reason for him not being on any team. I mean, he got more covers than everybody, all the sports when that happened. So, absolutely, that's the reason why. So, Michael Vick, I don't know why he's even saying that. He just wants to get back on TV. I don't know what he wants to do.
Right. Like, how did he get a spot on the show? I'm sorry.
Cardell?
I mean, yeah, I was disappointed because of all people, he should know better, especially what he's been through. When people gonna realize, man, changing your appearance is not gonna change the insecurities of, let's be real, these white folks who own these leagues and teams. They have their own preconceived notion of what we about based on, I don't know, movies, whatever they see on TV, even though that don't apply to all of us. Some of us are outstanding citizens, some of us are about a bit, some of us just know how to act. So because a few mess up, just don't put that over the whole, you know what I'm saying? And for him to just say that was just like basically telling him to sell out. And at the end of the day, so if he cut his hair, is that going to change his stance? Is that really going to help him get a job? Is that going to erase that he took a knee for what he believed in? Like, that's not going to change anything. And for him to say that was just real disappointing. I know he, came back out, copped the plea, but like, I'm a firm believer, when people show you who they are believing, you know what I'm saying? So good and bad. And to me, it just seemed like he's just trying to play politician and try to get an opportunity back in the NFL or something, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad that he got to go that route, but that makes no sense when everybody in the world knows what's happening. But, hopefully he can live with himself being that way, but it's not going to get him too far because now, I don't care how much you change, white folks that want to be ignorant racists, they're never going to accept you for who you are. And when you make stands like that, we're not going to accept you. You're going to be OJ. So
All day by yourself.
Exactly. So you got to make a decision. You got to be careful what you say.
Cap tried the whole clean cut thing, and there was like 500 think pieces wrote about his tattoos, his upbringing, his biological mother, because he didn't claim what race he was before he grew his hair out. So he tried it, didn't work, grew his hair out. Some people thought he got woke. He's been like that the entire time. Just the team got bad. So I don't know. Just got to stop. I love Cap's response. His response was just, again, for all the people that like to regurgitate this nonsense and don't want to live in reality and look at facts with this stuff. And I've been saying this for since we started the show. We just got to stop it. You talk about the numbers thing. We can go through the numbers thing. It's wrong. We can talk about, overall production. Now we can stop that too.
One question. Was he Blaine Gabbert bench for him?
Yeah.
Blaine Gabbert just signed right now, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Mike Glenn is getting $18 million a year for doing absolutely nothing in his NFL life. So we just gotta stop it. Like again, if you take his resume, take his picture off his stats, we looking at Cat real different right now. That's everything somebody thought Blaine Gabbert was gonna be. Not gonna shout out names. Somebody said Blaine Gabbert's gonna be better than Cam Newton because I don't know why. Oh yeah, we know why. But thank you guys for watching the Focus. Sam, thank you so much for coming through. We appreciate you. Keep us updated
Yes, sir.
as you go forward. Everybody tuning in, thank you so much. We appreciate you. See you guys next week, same time, same place.